We're call meeting to order. Minutes are on the back of the agenda. Gary, come in. Take a look at the agenda for you. We do have a form, so Mary Ann's not here. Reverend, if you don't show, can you take a few notes?
She wasn't at the zoning last night either.
Pardon?
She wasn't at zoning last night either.
Shane always told me he's down at the jail working, they got a sewer problem. And you don't have a couple, it's not here. Nature. Two, it's not here. Take a look at the minutes, see if you see anything wrong with any of that. We'll go from there. You won't have anything that you want to add, change, delete, or accept. Not identify a motion to accept the minutes. Motion by Mr. Walsh, second by Mr. Gregory. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, by no vote. It stand approved. You wouldn't be from Core Civic, would you?
I would be, yes, sir.
I thought you might be. I'll take a stab at it, are you the warden, or you think?
Free, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that how you pronounce it, Frank?
Free.
Okay. Well, this is our mayor right here, I don't know if you met him or not.
No.
This is our chairman of our county commission, Mr. Joel. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Very clear.
David Norman.
Yeah, fuck, man.
And I'm Jerry Ford, I'm the chairman of this committee. And we're down to, you, Mr. Frank, you want to come up, Mayor, do you have a microphone over there? Right here. We're gonna turn some time over to you and let you tell us what's happening out of Core Civic and all of this stuff. And good to meet you, good to have you here.
Thank you. Yes, sir. My name is Martin Frink, F-R-I-N-K. You're not the first one that said the mispronounced that promotion. And then, so I am the warden at the Falls Turner Correctional Facility. A bit about myself, I've been in corrections for about 38 years now. Spent the first 17 years of my career with the state of Texas. And I came over to CCA, started off in New Mexico, and I traveled throughout the country. My last assignment was in Mississippi. I was a warden at Tallahassee County Correctional Facility. They asked me to come up here to take over this prison, so hopefully I'll be here for a while.
How long have you been here?
So that's a good question. The best answer I can tell you is I was up here for a week, 2 weeks, went back to Mississippi for a week, came back up here. So I've kind of been doing dual duty until they get a work name in Mississippi.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I guess the than anything, it's just that you have any questions about trash at this time. More than, I got a bunch of statistics that I can go over, but, I don't know if you really want that or you just want to ask questions.
Anyone have any questions you want to ask?
How many y'all got out there now?
So our current counts. We're almost full. We're sitting on about 2147, so we do have a few, well, yeah, we do have a few beds. Nope. 2147, 239, and restricted housing. So we don't have very many beds though. We're sitting on 2487, sorry.
2487,
Yeah, 2487.
you about full.
Yeah. So that was the thing. I knew we were pretty close to being full. One of the things that we're looking at out there right now, of course, is our restricted housing. When we look at how many inmates we have assigned in restricted housing, we're sitting on 239. That's a lot. Just to be perfectly honest. So one of the things that I've begun doing is reviewing what we've got. Historically, throughout corrections, it's hard to manage a population by disciplinary or by just simply locking them down. However, having said that, one of the things you also have to keep in mind is there are some people that just aren't going to perform. So the ones that are out there that are not going to do right, then they're going to have a home in restricted housing. But if we can give these guys an opportunity to renounce or get out of gangs or get education, get programs, and that's what we do. So that's one of the things that I've tasked the administration staff out with. So we currently have about 75 vacancies, but that's kind of misleading in that we got about 85 in the pipeline that we hired. But with our process and the way we've done it, we've contacted all 85. But at this point, only 54 have come back and said that they're interested in the job. So we can get all 54 processed through, that's 79, and that looks okay. So that's what we're working on now. HR is full. She's got academies set up over the next, I think, three academies, and we're going to try to spread them out about a week or two. So in the next month and a half, 2 months, we should have.
How well staffed are you
How
now? How well staffed are you now?
That's what we were just
That's
talking
what
about.
you're talking about, I'm sorry I couldn't hear you, brother.
Okay, yeah, that's where we're at. We've got 79, I think 75, 79 vacancies, but we've got 87, 84 that are in the pipeline waiting. They put in applications. We contacted all 80 something, and only 54 have said that they're willing to take the job. So we're processing them, and we run an academy with say 50 people, and that's too much. So what we're looking at is separating it and breaking it down to about 20, 25. That's a manageable number. So we can run those in over the next three academies.
Now that 54 come here.
That I don't know exactly. I can check on that number and get you something back.
The ones that are working, are they putting in a lot of hours? The guards and those kind of people? I know I talked to a lady that works out there the other day, she said she was working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day.
Yeah, some of them have, we look at how we can manage it best to fill the positions and not burn out the staff. And this is one of my new administrators, who was the chief security out there recently. He got promoted to assistant warden, running the flat. So I asked him to join up here as well. That's one of his tasks, is making sure that we've got the staff to cover all the posts and do it safely, but yet not work all the staff to death. Because when we look at the vacancies, we say we've got 79 vacancies, but if we're working all of those staff, they're not going to stick around. So we have to be aware of that. And that's one of his concerns in other areas that he's concentrating on today. Do we have some staff that are working a lot of hours? Absolutely. Do we have some staff that want to work a lot of hours? Now, this particular one, I'm not sure if she's been forced, and I say that forced, but mandated, or if she's been volunteer.
I don't know, I didn't ask you.
Yes, sir, yeah. But we do, so in order to work, efficiently without really, working our staff to death, one of the things that we do is we merge a pod. And by doing that, what we do is we pretty much shut it down. We don't necessarily lock it down completely, but we control all movement in there. We bring the inmates out by tiers, and then we have staff that are rotating in there. So instead of having somebody assigned there full time, we've got staff that are rotating, keep an eye on it. So that helps alleviate the need for an additional body. So we hope that that manages some of the overtime as well. Did that make sense?
Personnel other than COs, as far as the support personnel, office.
Yeah,
There are vacancies there.
a little, not nearly bad. I think we're doing some interviews for, clerk. I know that I was told about a clerk, a couple of clerk positions. Anything else that's?
Clerks. We have several LPN positions in our positions.
Okay, so there are a few, medical staff, but I know with the numbers, that we have right now, we're sitting on 37 health services. So when we say, yeah, we have a few vacancies for nurses or something, we're filling those in with agencies. So we're not necessarily not having somebody in there, but we'll hire, like an agency nurse to come in.
Is there a point that you get with staffing, low staffing, that you'll have to reduce the population?
It could come to that with where we're at and what we've got in the pipeline and hiring, that's not a consideration. It would, if you look at it historically, with the trend in the United States right now, what's so scary is when you go just about anywhere, been around town and you see in almost every window, help wanted, now hiring, I mean, that's, seems to be the norm. Mississippi, Nashville, everywhere that I've been, that's what I'm seeing. And I've seen that throughout the corrections as well. It's just more and more people that just aren't necessarily getting out of the workforce.
How large was the facility you were last at as far as population?
What was it?
How large, I mean?
It was a 2,964 bed facility. So it was a little bigger.
bigger.
Yeah, it was a little bit bigger, but it was comfortable. We had, at the time I left, we had four contracts. Throughout my career, I worked at that, and as a matter of fact, one time we got 7 contracts. So, I've dealt with a lot of different adversities and different customers. I've been a warden now for 10, 11 years.
Think you're gonna like it?
So far, yes. The one thing that I will tell you, y'all need to do a little better at is housing. It's been a chore. It's been a chore. Everybody's helpful, but there's just the houses that come on the market go so fast. I've never seen a market like this. This is unbelievable. This is definitely the time to be selling a house. But having said that, if you do, then you gotta go buy one. So I don't recommend that, but if you're moving out of the area, man, it's a good
Don't
time.
quote nobody a price, don't you be living on the
Better
grid.
not price it. You don't want to set it.
That's the thing. I'm telling you right now. And what I'm seeing is it'll come on the market and it'll say, now accepting offers. And then they'll have a couple of days and then they're shutting it down and they got sold. Yeah, you got to move fast. Yes.
If there was a report of a case of TB, is that under control or?
It was a false report. Yeah, the individual went out to the hospital. They took an X-ray and they said there's something on him that we don't know what it is. We're going to run tests. We want to treat it as TB. So we went through the precautions as TB. They tested it, come back negative, they did another test, came back negative, he does not have TB.
COVID cases now.
Yeah, no. But, you know, much like, in most of the prisons that have been at, rumors run so fast. And you try to get out in front of it. In this situation, we try to do the same thing. We sent out, correspondence to our staff and said, hey, this is what we're dealing with. But we couldn't even get out in front of it that fast. It hit out so fast. It was unbelievable. But no,
I don't have the exact number, but it seems like in the last couple of years, 4 or 5 high turnover boards. Any particular reason for that, or?
they love it so much here that they just get sad and say, no, okay, so, with what I've noticed, is, that Rusty was here for 3 years, that's, in this area with this facility, that's a pretty long time. Raymond, he was up here, he liked it, he loved it here, there was a situation that he was involved in. The customer said, hey, we have to deal with this, so he had to go. In this profession, it's not uncommon for 3 to 4 or 5 years at institution to need to move. Me, for example, I've been working for weeks, 11 or 2 years. And I've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 5th facility as a city board. And at no time was I ever asked to move because we weren't performing. It's quite the opposite sometimes. It can be hard. I know with some agencies, with some customers, they have a rule that you can't be on an institution more than 3 years, so you're going to. It does good to bring in fresh eyes, new ideas, things that you can deal with, maybe, you get complacent with. So I'm hoping that's the case.
How's, your, schooling going? Did people graduate?
So right now, we're just getting back into the swing, because with COVID and, it was shutting down, we were doing some things kind of virtually or in the cell. So we just recently started picking back up to where we're doing more schooling in our schoolhouse.
Good.
And I think right now we're sitting between 80 and 85% capacity. So we're picking it back up. To say that there's been some graduations, I think there have been some, but not, not a whole bunch, not where we would like it to be. But having said that, with all the challenges, we're pretty proud of where they're at. I was looking at the numbers here recently, and if you look at the company, our numbers, of course, everybody's got numbers to back up, data, but we're pretty happy with the company. So I'm proud of it.
When's visitation gonna start back?
We started that,
Hey,
yeah. And it wasn't that long ago, it's probably been 34 days. About 30, 45 days.
Is the COVID pretty well under control now?
Yes, sir. Right now, I don't think we have any positive cases. We have 6 on quarantine and 0 positive cases. 6 on quarantine, and those are mainly precautionary. Somebody expresses that they have some kind of symptoms, or some of them that go off-site for medical when they come back.
I think in March, the report was 0, I think. It's all right.
Yes, we've been at 0 for consistent.
That's what I was saying.
So, that's the thing, it's still zero.
We had, some of us in the Rotary Club here in Hartsville, we had 2 ladies come this past Thursday, and they work with people that's primarily in jail, not in prison. We try to help them when they come out, if they've got a job to go to. And you know, I'm really worried a great deal. Many people, they are incarcerated all over the United States. And when they come out with felons, well, I had I wouldn't call him a friend, I'll call him an acquaintance here in town back 3, 4, 5 months ago. And I tried everywhere around to get that man a job. And when you mention the word felon, you get it. There's nobody going to hire.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to all these people when they do get out?
You know, so that is, now again, I've been doing this for 38 years. 38, 35, 40 years ago, we didn't have near the numbers of incarcerated that we do today. Statistics will prove that. Over the years, we've had to look at what we're doing and how we're doing things. And I can tell you, when I started off, I was one of those knuckle draggers, you know, they're convicted felons, they don't have anything coming, you know, just lock them up, leave. That's mature, and that's not working. What we did 38, 40 years ago, even 50 years ago, is not working today. It's clear. If it was, we wouldn't have the numbers incarcerated that we do. So we've got to do something, because you hit the nail on the head. These guys are gonna get out. And when they get out, where are they going? They're gonna live in our neighborhoods. They're gonna live next door to your mom, your sister, your aunt, your daughter. They're gonna live next door to us. So what are we doing to prepare them to come out and be successful? The biggest challenge we have today is putting them to work. Because it says simple on almost every application that you put in, have you been convicted of a felony? Once you put yes, the majority of the time, you're not considered. So you put a person back in position to what they're gonna do to make a living. Exactly what they were doing before they got out. So we've got to do something. I have some friends of mine who are involved in helping incarcerated felons once they get out. Now, these guys are not in this state, but they're in other states, because we've got to change. We've got to do something different. And one of the things that we've talked about since I've got there is, what are we doing program-wise to get these guys ready to be released? So we've got to do something. You're absolutely right.
I think I saw on the news the other night, there's some companies now that are changing and they're taking that block out. Okay, where you check it if you yes or no. And I think Amazon is starting to hire people that, because they can't get nobody to work. So they're hiring people that have been in prison. I mean, so that's good.
That's great.
Yeah. So there's some other companies now that are starting to do this.
Yeah. One of the things that we have a month set aside for second chance. And that's what the month's called. I think it was last, second chance month. If that's the case, what does that really look like? What does it really mean to give somebody a second chance? We've got to look at how we're doing these things. You've got people that are skilled, that were involved in something, made a poor choice. Without showing a hand, but how many of us haven't made poor choices? So when you think about it from that respect, are we really giving these guys a chance to be successful? If the only job they can get is McDonald's or Burger King when they get out, well, now that's probably not even that bad, because I saw on McDonald's sign that said, now hiring $15 an hour with a $500 sign. I was like, wow. So, some of those things, but if that's the only job they have, it means that they provide for their family, is it enough to keep their family going? If it ain't, they're gonna go back to doing the same thing. So we've got to change it. There's some companies that are finally recognizing that.
Yeah.
And I know before COVID, they did the job fairs when, at certain points, when there was a large group getting out, they would have the job fairs. You would have different companies that would come in. But of course, I'm sure during COVID, it's kind of pushed all of that back, but they do have, I know the facility does offer different ways and have re-entry programs for them to re-enter back into society. So I can say that they do work because I've helped and assisted with that, and they do have the ability to get driver's license.
Yeah.
Second that.
Yeah, and that's the other part, you know, a lot of times private prisons get a bad rap or bad, reputation because we're for profit. But realistically, I can show you statistically, we're doing those things, trying to help these guys when they get out, not to come back. Because, you know, ultimately, there's gonna be enough people, why would we try to, you know, do something to help this guy and not be successful? We want him to be successful. That's one of the things we're doing now.
I would imagine a lot of them want to be successful, but probably don't know how. I think I'm right in saying this, there's a couple of counties in the state of Tennessee that's taking inmates and finding jobs for them. They take them to work in the morning, pick them up in the afternoon. They build up enough money to start paying their fines and maybe their child support or help with their families. And a lot of times when they get out there, they've got a job they can go to, and if they've done well there, then the employer can say, well, yeah, I'm gonna keep them. And it's working well in a couple of counties in this state, but that's in the jail, it's not in the prison,
Yes.
like what you're dealing with. And my concern for them is just as much as it is in the rest of them. When they get out, if they don't have something to fall back on, just like you said, they're going to turn right around and do the same thing. The only thing they know how to do,
Yeah,
that's what they're going to do.
and that's the thing about what we do. You know, we talk about education and vocation, those are important things to offer. You know, if we can give them a skill set, something that they don't have to go back to southern
Right.
or sugar folks, you know, and that's what we're concentrating, we're trying to do a lot of that. I have a friend of mine who retired from the state of Texas as a warden. When he retired, the first thing he did, he opened a nonprofit. Well, his nonprofit is religion-based and it's also job-based. So he's helping these inmates that are getting out of prison get lined up religion-wise and work trying to find jobs. And that's, and so I have several friends that are trying to do that. Now they recognize the need, even when they were working in the prisons.
When you've been in this business, how many years, you say 10 years?
I've been 38 years in
38
prison.
years, that's even better for what I'm going to ask you. Looking back then and now, how many more people would you say is incarcerated, or even a percentage of how much more than you were when you went into business?
But I can tell
It's gotta be
you,
a lot more.
yeah, I can tell you, it's going to be probably over 20-25% more. If you think about the number wise, just the number wise, that's phenomenal. You know, when I first started in this business, there was very, very few private prisons. Of course, then CCA opened in 1983, January. Well, later in that year was when I started in prison for the state of Texas. CCA was the only private prison at that time. And then it kind of took off from there. There wasn't a need. You didn't have all this overcrowding. You didn't have the, you know, the jails as a whole. You know, it just didn't need. But now if you look at it, there's how many private prison companies? You know, how many private prisons do we have because overcrowded? Yeah, it's scary.
Well, obviously, the state didn't take care of what they got because our jail down here, I think it's got a 45 capacity, and it's up in the 60s. Every so often, all the jails around us, same way, they stay running over with people all the time. And, I don't know if it's the times or what, but it seems like it just keeps getting worse and worse.
It does, absolutely.
That one of those mandatory sentencing that you not have, you do now. You know, I don't think the problem a lot of times is the second chance, because most of them get the second chance or they wouldn't be there. It's the third or fourth or fifth chance that they blow it. And I hate to say that because I'm big on trying to do rehabilitation and get them some training, get them some jobs. And we'll always be an advocate of that and work as hard as I can to do that. But you also never need to lose sight of why they're
Absolutely, yeah. And that's, you're exactly right. Even, you know, when I talked about what initiatives we're doing for segregation, the inmates that want to act right and get out and help themselves, we're gonna help. But there are just some of them, no matter what you do, they're not gonna change. It's just plain and simple. You know, that's been that way from the beginning of history. So you're absolutely right. Yes.
And it's hard to know which.
Yeah, they all look the same.
We all have a crystal ball, we
Yes.
would, no problem with it.
Are you gonna be with us for a while, or do you know, or what?
You know, I plan on it. I can honestly tell you that, when I take a position, in my mind, I'm thinking at least 3 to 5 years. And that's been the case. But sometimes you get a tap on the shoulder, you know. So I'll tell you this, the history, as a senior warden, my first position was in Crossroads, Montana. And I've never been in Montana before in my life. I'm from Texas. So I went to Montana thinking that, you know, it's gonna be cold, snow year round, you know, 54 foot. I got up there and I fell in love. And I did 3 years, and the only reason I left was because there was a need for me to, you know, go move and take over a bigger prison. So I did. In Oklahoma. And I thought the only thing that kept Texas from falling in the Gulf Coast was because Oklahoma sucked. But that wasn't necessarily the case. When I got there, I figured, you know, Oklahoma wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And I really enjoyed that. And we closed that prison. So that, again, I had to move. I've never asked to move. I've been tapped on the shoulder a few times. But every time I go to a different prison, I really truly intend on number one, being there 3 to 5 years, number two, being involved in the community. I think that's huge. I think it's very important. I am a Rotarian as well. I've been for many years. Thursday noon, I've been invited to come out as a guest. But yeah, my last prison, I was a Rotarian. I've served as president, whatever.
I'll pick you up at 11:30.
Okay. So, but I think it's important. I think it's important to be involved in the community, support it, do what we can do, help out where we are, be partners.
The chaplain, that, Mr. John Schellenberger, he's Rotarian, and he usually comes, and went through there the last couple of weeks, and he comes a lot.
Yeah, he's the one that invited. He's the one that asked me to come out and I told him I would. I know he's been on PTO, took some time off Saturday. Monday.
He hadn't been there for a couple of weeks.
That's embarrassing.
Do you live here in the county?
I'm currently living in a cardboard box. I've been looking all around.
Do you have a family, or are you looking for a small home, big home?
Yes.
Small home?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just me. So I'm looking for something probably 1,800, 2,000 square feet. I would like something with a little piece of land, but, you know, I looked at a couple of places and started off looking okay. But, man, I went to Portland Sunday, looking at a house that set on 4 acres. Before I could even get there, it had multiple offers. So you're competing against, you know, they'll start off with a number before I get to, you know, go look at it. It's great. I've never seen it. Never been anywhere where it was this exciting. I was in Arizona for about a year, and that market out there I thought was pretty volatile. I like that here. It's very.
A lot of movement coming
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
everywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking everywhere.
Is all the, Mr. Lewis, was a part of it.
Yeah, so I talked to Lewis, about housing, about houses. He said he has nothing available right now, but he could build me something. Talking about building, looking 6 months out. Quick, he can build something. So in the meantime, you know, trying to find something. Like, there's a house, that's gonna come on the market. It's out, what is that, 141, I think? What is it? Yeah, out past Lewis's.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. There's a house out there with 8 acres, and I think it's coming. They said coming soon, so I'm gonna go look at it and see what it looks like.
Who's the agent?
It's public now.
Oh, you know,
Man, I have talked to so many people. I'm looking at Cook. In the morning, I'm gonna look at 2 houses over in Cook. I'm desperate.
Okay.
It's,
there'll be something pop up around here for you.
yeah,
On the zoning, we approved, two subdivisions last night. So, preliminary plans, one of them's 48, I can't remember how many of the others is.
yeah.
It's like,
They just half acre yard.
Yeah.
It's a little land.
he wants a little land, I understand.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing, I ain't looking for a bunch of them unless they have to follow that, but really, you know, something with a couple acres, just somewhere.
There's a lot of 5 acres there.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's. You can cut off 5 acres and not go for the planning division. So for years and years and years, we cut everything into 5 acre grass. Best thing is find one with an old junky mobile home on it, buy it, get rid of that sucker.
Yeah,
That gives you into the time of building something.
yeah, because with wood materials has it is.
Yeah.
$100 for a sheet of plywood.
Yeah.
$100 for a phone, 5 CDX, $79.
Ain't that crazy?
Well, I heard it was starting to come down a little, bit. It's gonna have to come down, because they're gonna get homes expensive. People are buying to pay for it, a lot of it.
Yeah, that's, but the other scary part of that is, right now, you go buy one of these houses for, you know, 350, 400,000. And in 6 months, it ain't worth 250, you know?
That's right, it's the point.
It's scary, it's scary.
But the owner still got the 350 to pay.
That's right.
No keeps
That's
coming. Anyone have any more questions for the warden? I know the mayor, that's the one of our earlier meetings, that, on July the 1st, we have another 5-year contract with, Core Civic,
I heard that.
and that's very good news.
Yes.
Mayor, do you have anything that you need to ask or comments?
No, I just don't have to make myself more aware of the video, but I have to.
Do you have anything you need to say to us? We'll give you a minute or two if you'd like to say anything.
I don't, I'm right. I actually came up about 6 months ago, and I retired on the correction system in Georgia. And I've been here as chief of security and recently promoted to assistant warden. But I'm just like, whatever I can do to be an assistant to the community, I'm good with that. Just want to get the problem. That's why I'm.
I did want to comment that I haven't been seeing much negative, propaganda or whatever out there going around. I used to get an email once in a while, but I haven't got anything in a long time, so everything must be kind of settling down and acting like it ought to act out there.
Well, you know, that's something else I'm gonna tell you. You talk about transparency. I'm gonna be as transparent as we can. And I think that oftentimes that goes a long way. When people who don't know something, they're gonna guess. And oftentimes they're not gonna let the truth get in the way of a good story. So if we can be transparent, get out there in front of it as best we can, and hopefully that'll do away with some of those, you know, rumors and talks and.
Anything else for the gentleman? Well, thank you for coming, both of you. Glad to have you. We hope to see you again. Let's see, this is, about 3 months. We'll do this again. Hopefully the report will even be better, good report. And hopefully it'll even be better than.
Well, and I apologize for not making it. I think it was last week, you know, I planned on coming up and then
Right.
they asked me to go back down to Mississippi.
Well, we just moved the date up a week. Made it work. Anyone else got anything to add to it? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Commissioner Walsh, second by Mr. Nolan. All in favor, say aye. Go home. Everybody sign in. One of them put your name down as Bill. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, yes.
Good to meet y'all.
Thank you.